Hey guys, the dance is getting hotter as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu begs FBI, CIA, and other US agencies not to release his criminal records. Interesting. Welcome back to Prospect Channel TV. Thank you for always coming out here. If you are just joining us, please kindly subscribe to this channel and don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Thank you. Nigerians, President Bola Tinubu has moved to block records relating to him from being disclosed by the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Central Intelligence Agency, and other United States agencies, according to a People's Gazette report, as it begged the U.S. government to not allow the FBI, the CIA, and other U.S. agencies to release his criminal records. It was reported in September that from October, the FBI would start releasing approximately 2,500 documents relating to President Tinubu in its database. According to the Gazette, Christopher Carmichael, one of the lawyers who represented Mr. Tinubu in the recent controversial academic records case, filed motions to appeal in an ongoing freedom of information action brought against the U.S. organizations, where records that may help answer questions about the president's real identity and decades-long endeavors are domiciled. The lawyers brought his motion in accordance with Civil Local Rule 83.2 C in brackets. People's Gazette reports that Mr. Brian A. Carey, who practices in DC, said on Mr. Carmichael's behalf, this motion is supported by the declaration of Christopher Carmichael. As set forth in Mr. Carmichael's declaration, he is admitted and an active member in good standing. Mr. Carmichael did not respond immediately to a request for comments, and the president's lead lawyer in the United States, Oluwale Folabi, told the Gazette that he could not comment on the matter until it had formally begun. The lawyers would work to file as thorough argument as soon as possible in order to argue any relief before the October 31st deadline. The FBI had said it was planning to release the record before the end of October to Aaron Greenspan, the proprietor of Plain Sight, a website that pursues anti-corruption and transparency in public service. Several other U.S. institutions, including the U.S. State Department, Internal Revenue Service, and Drug Enforcement Administration, have all indicated readiness to turn over thousands of pages of records related to Tinubu. President Tinubu recently lost an emergency appeal to the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois in Chicago to stop Chicago State University from releasing its academic records to Atiku Abubakar, its opponent in the 2023 presidential election. In a ruling on Tinubu's emergency application in case number 23 CV 05099, Judge Nelson L. Maldonado overruled President Tinubu's objections to Magistrate Judge Klebert recommended ruling and therefore adopt the ruling in full. Report on September 23rd by Idecom News, Tinubu appealed against the ruling of Judge Jeffrey T. Klebert, sitting at the United States District Court of Northern Illinois, which ordered the Chicago State University to release all relevant records pertaining to him to Nigeria's former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Ekidon.com had reported how the federal court in Chicago, while ruling on the civil case filed by Atiku, granted their applicant's request to the court, stating that the former vice president had been able to sufficiently satisfy the purpose for seeking the records. Tinubu subsequently pleaded with Judge Nelson Maldonado to block all other details, especially the gender and admission records, among others, of the owner of the certificate. The report that Atiku brought the case before the court in an effort to establish that Tinubu was not eligible to be Nigerian president despite his election in February 2023, and that he tendered a forged certificate to the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC had declared Tinubu as the winner of the election, saying Atiku of the People's Democratic Party came second and Peter Obi of the Labour Party came third. In the judgment obtained by Sahara reporters, Justice Maldonado ruled for the foregoing reasons, the court overrules President Tinubu's objections to Magistrate Judge Klibat's recommended ruling and therefore adopts the ruling in full. Mr. Atiku Abubakar's application is therefore granted in light of the pending Supreme Court of Nigeria deadline, represented to the court as October 5th, 2023, based on Chicago State representations that it is already to comply with the discovery request and produce a witness. The court set an expedited schedule for completion of discovery. Justice Maldonado therefore directed the Chicago State University to produce all relevant and non-privileged documents in response to requests for production numbers 1 through 4 as narrowed by Judge Klibat and adopted here in Mr. Abubakar's subpoena by 12:00 p.m. noon CDT on Monday, October 2nd, 2023, the Rule 30(b)(6) in brackets the position of the Chicago State University corporate designee must be completed by 5:00 p.m. CDT on Tuesday, October 3rd. So Nigerians, the issue now is that Mr. Tinubu contains the fraudulent submission which have disqualified President Tinubu from participating in the election and therefore seek records and testimony from Chicago State University related to President Tinubu's diploma and his graduation from the Chicago State University to support Mr. Atiku's challenge to the election results. So let's see how things unfold as Tinubu have moved, begging the FBI, the CIA, and other U.S. agencies not to release his criminal records. The question is, what is actually containing in all these records? So guys, let's hear from you. Kindly share your thoughts below the comment section, please.